Hi, everybody. It's Life and Vibe, otherwise known as Ray. And today, our very good friend, SARASOTA Tim, seems to have come to the realization that his YouTube gig, his side hustle, his supplement to his going to Social Security at the age of 62 with zero to no planning, other than getting lucky during a very difficult time for most of us on this globe. But anyway, he finally kind of came to a realization yesterday. And so we're gonna take a little bit of a listen to that. And then we're going to take a little bit of a look at why it may be so difficult for Mr. Baker to enjoy his retirement and why his planning, even though he likes to tout all the time that going to Social Security at 62 is the way to go, because otherwise, and I quote this, you're leaving free money on the table, is obviously his mantra. So let's get into this. Let me make sure I get Mr. Baker up here. We're going to obviously make sure that I have my fair use underneath some of the information that I included in a live stream the other day. I think our good friend in Sarasota wasn't happy about it, and I did some edits, and I don't know, it's taking forever to upload, but we'll just take another look at it again. But I've this time I did hide some details. I made sure not all the personal details, but some things I can't hide because it's literally on the web. All right, well, I'm gonna make Tim so much bigger than the rest of us, and there we go, just the fair use for my attorney. And if you do happen to like this type of content, make sure that you hit the likes and subscribe. We are growing, and I really do appreciate it. So this was Tim's morning chat. He decided to come out looking like a game show host with a rather large microphone. People speculated it was because the air conditioning was so loud that he did need to have something to obviously buffer it, because I'm sure on Florida it's getting as hot as it is here in Virginia Beach. Okay, Tim, we're gonna just go right to the last minute of this video, because this is really where anything of any importance was said, when Tim actually makes confession to his audience. And I'm actually going to play him at normal speed for once. How about that?
Getting down to the skinny right now. Finally, I just want to say I do read the comments. I keep trying to tell everybody getting a little slow, a little lax because of one thing or another. The phone is driving me nuts. You're talking about a prison job. YouTube is a prison job. It's just constant, and between...
Well, that's because you have zero planning with your community, Tim. And I know that that is one of the things. YouTube, in order to be rewarded by the YouTube algorithm, they like you to have content out pretty much every day if you're going to be doing this as a full-time creator and really make some serious money from it. And most of these people have pretty decent content, and they have upload schedules, and they really do plan it out in order to meet those goals. And maybe they do have a daily video, but Tim, with his lack of expertise and his inability to really provide any good, salient, educating content, he is stuck in this loop of needing to put out 8 videos. This day he put out 8 videos. And while he was putting out 8 videos, me, who works supposedly a prison job, was enjoying my Saturday off and went running for the first time in quite some time, because I had, you know, not to labor out a point, but I had some illnesses and some surgeries and different things, and it has been great to be able to go back and do something that I love. And I've been able to run along the beach this morning. I did just a bit over 5 miles, and the day before that I was just shy of 4. And for somebody who has not run in over probably 2 years, though I've been a runner my whole life, that's pretty decent. Now my pace is pretty slow, I'm not going to lie, but I've been really enjoying it. And so I have 4 days when I'm at work, which doesn't feel like a prison job. I love what I do, and then I have 3 days off, and I may live stream, which I did Friday. Thanks, Tim. I still made money. It's okay. Or I may, decide to do something like this, a shorter video, whatever. But I'm not locked to anything. And you are, Tim. And I think you're coming to that realization because you made some very easy money before.
Been reading the comments, editing the videos, making the videos, waiting for it to upload, and all the other things that are trying to go on in my life.
Tim, you barely put any effort in your videos. You make no thumbnails. The intro and outro were actually made by Jay, who you were to compensate, and you did not compensate him financially for his time. And so that is something you didn't even create. You show content which is literally just anybody's regular day. Going to the laundromat. I could have showed, probably people would have been more interested in my shopping trip to Lululemon this afternoon because I needed some new running shorts and I get a discount and they last me for years. So I don't mind paying a little bit more. I like the style. I usually like the colors. I got myself some new shorts. I get a discount for being a nurse. So come at me. My one treat. So anyway. So I'm going to get those washed at the laundromat, which is literally the washer and dryer behind me. But what happened to the 4 moderators of the apocalypse who were making sure that you were getting time to upload this quality car wash content and stuff while you were, and they were sanitizing your comments? I guess it is hard work to make sure that you're up and striking people's channels and, trying to get people for your personal details going out and stuff. I mean, I know that's hard work, Tim.
Exercise, eat, live a life, enjoy my life. I'm going to get that scooter out today. It's a great sunny day. I'm going to take
Well, see, that's what we have, who get to have our prison jobs. That's what we get to do. Like I went and I washed my dog after I came home from my run. I also gave her a nice long walk. I'm making this video. Like I said, I went and did a little bit of shopping. I went shopping, I think on Friday. One day I went to Trader Joe's. I can't remember. But I specifically have made it because they were trying to get me back in to do 5 days. I'm like, oh, please don't. I mean, I always could do with the money, don't get me wrong, because supposedly I'm the brokest person on YouTube.
Shirt off. I'm down to the point where I'm not too embarrassed to take my shirt off, and I want to get a little color. I know the sun and all that, but I'm getting too.
Is this the day that you got burnt, Tim? And then had to cover yourself in Noxzema? Really would not suggest. I keep trying to say, as we age, our skin becomes thinner, so you're going to burn much easier. So being negligent about wearing sunscreen really is not small. I cover myself in that stuff when I go running. I promise you. I have a whole ritual.
Pale and all that. My legs, got to do something, man. Got to get the summer body going. So I'm going to get in the CC Rider after I take the Crusher.
I mean, I think you do you, Tim, but 66, come on. To the, because that's the only thing I got room enough to put all these dirty clothes in. What I'm trying to say is I'm even realistic, Tim, in the respect that I am 56 years old this year, and I can only suspect that I have so much of a summer body, I mean, obviously, yes, you want to feel healthy and fit. And I haven't been able to really exercise and work out because it really did not feel good for the longest period of time. And it feels great. This is the first time I've actually been able to exercise and breathe through both sides of my nose and not have a raging infection. And actually not have my legs hurt from my varicose vein procedures and stuff. So it was fantastic. I felt like a whole new human being this weekend. It really was good. And with obviously the vitamin D, and I don't even have music. I just run and listen to the waves. But after this, Tim, I'm going to finish out some laundry, like right behind in my home.
And get it done. Now I'm repeating myself. Let's get out there and crush it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's not do that, Tim.
Then they said, apply for these loans. These aren't forgivable, but the SBA, Small Business Administration, is going to give you what they call an EIDL, emergency something. Anyway, it was a business loan. And because of catastrophes, disasters, and everything to keep your businesses afloat. So I got approved. I got one, and it was more than that PPP money, the payroll protection plan that was forgivable, because that was just my little salary they kind of tried to replace for me for a few months. But the EIDL was a loan that was a lot more money, and it was to help businesses, keep the machinery up, their rent.
Oh, Tim. So I did want to share some images real fast. Let me get this down and let me get this one up. And we'll take a look, because this is the stuff that was making Tim all mad the other day when I went and took a look at his finances. So let me come in here. Let me switch around. Okay, hold on. We'll get this. Don't worry, guys. There we go. So this is possible, and we know this isn't possible. We've obviously taken a look. So I took out the offending part of the address, which was supposedly an address that he's not lived in since 2021. But if we take a look at, obviously, the screen here, we can take a look at Tim's. And I know people always say we've seen this before, but I think it's always good to see it. We obviously can see Tim had a loan made through the Small Business Administration, and it was this Lakewood Ranch 34202. I'm trying not to show the address of his home because he obviously, he doesn't live there now, but for whatever reason. But it was filed on the 21st, and then obviously there's expiring dates coming up because it gets recertified, and I guess you have to show some type of collateral. But what I find most fascinating about this business loan is that Tim had not been working for some time when he actually requested that business loan. So that was always very interesting. And then obviously there is this document that if you click into this, it will take you over. Now, we did take a look, obviously, at Tim and his EIDL loan through Skip the other day. And we just always want to remind people, because he likes to say that he did not take any, he's debt-free and so forth. But if we take a look and look this up real fast, and I'm going to share this tab over here in a minute. Let me share this one. There we go. And then you can obviously see, and it's always, I'm not trying to flash somebody's home address, but this is the public information. And this is a $58,400 EIDL loan attached to Mr. Baker at that address. And this is all EIDL loan data. Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing that, but that happens to be all there and verified. Okay, let me switch this around. Actually, I'm going to go like this. There we go. That's perfect. Okay, so as we know, this is the finance. But what I find so fascinating about this is that one of the things that did not seemingly happen is that even though we see that Mr. Baker obviously has this $58,400 EIDL loan, there's some interesting things about his actual business that he had, because that's a fairly sizable. And as we know, Tim always said that he sold coupons door to door, a couple hours a day, few days a week, making a few $100s, and then he was happy and ready to roll. But yet he was able to secure such a large amount of money. So let me add this one to the stream instead. Let me go this way. Oh, I'm going to switch it around again. This is one of the good things about OneStream Live. Oh, sorry, make that small. Is that I can switch some of these screens around. Okay, so this was a business profile that Mr. Baker had, and obviously it's showing business profiles and employment history. And so he had a primary company called Timothy Baker, and I can promise you, I've tried to look his name up, and you'll see some other proof of this on a Florida business license search, and I have never found that Mr. Baker ever had any type of actual business licensure. Even when I had my little business here in Virginia Beach as a registered nurse and doing home health as an RN, I had all my own liabilities insurances. I had obviously my business license. I mean, I made sure that everything was in place that I needed as a sole proprietor, as a business. And I had made the decision to go sole proprietor rather than an LLC at the time, and so forth. So obviously, I don't see anything here. And then this is the thing that I find most interesting, is Mr. Baker's employment history. It says this is from the 21st of January to the 12th of August only of the year 2021. And it is again out of this Lakewood Ranch, Florida address. So let me just make that big and make me small for a second. So again, that 3402. And that was the employer's address. The employer obviously being Mr. Baker, who had secured a $58,400 EIDL loan at that time, and yet only seemed to be employed by himself, because remember, he was also taking unemployment, I guess, and PPP loans for the not even just over like 8 months, something like that. Not even that, 6-7 months. It was like nothing. And then here, if we take a look, this is interesting. So I just wanted to make sure we could see here. And let me switch these around real fast so I'm the smaller image. There we go. So licenses, and I also did a search through the Florida license system, and I'm like, does he ever even had a business license for such a large EIDL loan? And it said that there are extensive public records of this particular service that I used, because, and I did also, like I said, I went to the Florida license system and I did it under, like, what do they call it, false names and business names, and I have never found the only one that I found was a Timothy R. Baker, but it was like something to do with like Doctors of Rhythm. And so I under like a different name or something, and I just don't think that Tim's coupon business was called that, and then the address of which that business was located is not any of the addresses that I've ever seen associated with Mr. Baker during the time supposedly of that license of Doctors of Rhythm. So I don't think that they are the same, and as we've learned, there are more than one Timothy R. Baker, and I don't know if it's an array or the date of birth of that individual or anything. But as we can just see here, and this is the one that was actually connected to Tim and the December 1958 birth date, and obviously the person who is associated with Tammy Musselman, and he has nothing. He's never seemingly ever held a business license. So how is it that you held no business license ever? And yet you've managed to secure, as we have seen, and I am happy to share this at all times, that you, sir, managed to secure a $58,400 EIDL loan. That is your there. And as we can see, if we go over here to this UCC search finding, this is when this actual loan was filed, which is the 21st of June 21, that you had a business only that you were employed from January to August of 2021. And yet you got this huge loan, Tim. I mean, how did this happen? How did you get so much money? I think the American people, we want to know, Tim. I think we do. I think we do want to know. I think we want to know what happened. And I know you're not happy with me making this information available, and it is just public record. Anybody can find this about Mr. Baker. And so when he's trying to convince everybody that he doesn't like his prison job, which is YouTube, it's because he got $58,400 so easily at one point. I mean, he didn't have to do anything. I mean, he pays it off a very small amount every month as a loan, less than probably somebody would pay for a mortgage on that. It's not amortized or anything. It's very low interest. And so I'm just curious, how did you manage to secure so much money? I need somebody to help me answer this question. It just seems like something suspicious happened, especially considering the length of the time that you had this business, which says only from January the 21st to August. Now, this is obviously just, kind of a not full search, but it brought up some fairly good information about, obviously, Mr. Baker's UCC filings. And so I think when you take a look at that and the fact that it was able to find out that he had this particular UCC filings, and then we're able to then find that information on the UCC search results, and then we're able to then to find the EIDL loan. I think it's pretty solid evidence. All right, guys. I wanted to go back over this, but yeah, Tim is not enjoying the fact that he has to put out 8 YouTube videos a day, and that he has to work 7 days a week. without fail. And he has to record every mundane aspect of his life, from his rageful, sort of inappropriate morning chats and evening chats, which is just like on the deep end, very unhinged recently, to his very boring pay it forward coffee videos, to literally videos of him going to a laundromat. I mean, could it? And then he was back to the same pole he's always been to. We just hear him, you know, chatting with there's nothing fun going on. And I don't think that Tim would have the capacity to do that. But we will be having fun soon, guys. We will be I'm gonna make me big now. We will be having fun here. I should make me bigger. We will be having a registered dietitian on and doing some talks about diet and so forth. I am myself so inspired by Tim this summer. I am obviously working on my fitness myself, because I am feeling so much better, as I said earlier, and obviously making sure to maintain my diet and good, healthy Mediterranean style diet as most recommended by the American College of Cardiology and the American Heart Association, so I can stay heart healthy. I've been getting really good results with my heart rate, and so it's been good. It's been good. I've been enjoying it. All right, guys, if you enjoyed this content and you made it this far, make sure to leave like a guy in like a little prison outfit or something. I guess there's like ones with like striped shirts. A prisoner. Leave me a prisoner, because Tim is now a prisoner of his YouTube channel and has to pump out constant content, and he just can't get easy money like he used to. And you know, that's not fun. I mean, he actually has to like edit and read his comments and upload and make a thumbnail. I mean, it's actual like work. He can't believe it, guys. So anyway, all right. I certainly appreciate you guys watching this one. Make sure to hit the subscribes on the way out, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.